Hello, this is Dr. Paul Cottrell, and I'm recording this on October 5th, 2025. The markets for New York will open up tomorrow, so I'm going to go over my assessment on the different assets within the market, such as oil, S&P 500, natural gas, the treasuries, give you my perspective on what's going to be coming up in the near future in trading. But before we do that, please help support the work that I do by going to my website, the-studio-reykjavik.com, and support the work that I do. You can subscribe to the 4 channels that I have on YouTube, Brighteon, Bitchute, and Rumble. You can also subscribe on Substack, TikTok, X, and GETTR. You can donate on my website at the bottom of the homepage. Stripe, PayPal, or Buy Me a Coffee is a great way to help support the free work that I do. You can also watch the materials that I create under broadcast radio for the audio files of my shows and the live streams that I do during the week under broadcast live. You can also follow me on Podomatic and Apple Podcasts for my audio podcasts. I have a lot of different ways that you can consume my content. It's all for free, so please help support the work that I do. I also have ebooks. I have 8 ebooks about finance, about genomics, artificial intelligence, endocrinology. I also have supplements and course material on immunology and pulmonology. For course materials, you can get a package deal for $50 on pulmonology or $50 for immunology. You get lots of PDFs, lots of videos on these different subjects. You learn a lot of content for only $50. Immunology, get lots of PDFs and videos of each one of these. And I also have supplements. I have nano silver supplements. You can get the toothpaste. This will whiten your teeth, freshen your breath, help with the inflammation at the gum line, help the health of the gum line. This is very important to use every day throughout the year, but especially during the fall and the winter season. So please get a few tubes of this toothpaste for the winter and fall season. Max 35 is in stock. This will help during the fall and the winter season. You take a teaspoon a day, swish in your mouth, gargle about 20 seconds or so and swallow it. This will boost up your immune system, help with the health of your epithelial lining, and increase your mucosal barrier. This will boost up that immune system, super important. I also have structural nano silver soaps in stock. You can get charcoal tea tree, lemongrass, peppermint, and lavender. Get a few bars for your household for the fall and the winter season. I have drops and lozenges in stock. I have the blueberry, honey lemon, and cherry flavor drops in 100 count. I also have elderberry zinc lozenges, which are in a 21 count. Get a few bags for your household. Take them right away if you have a throat irritation, especially in the fall and the winter season. I have the Veggie Cat probiotic. Probiotics are super important to help with your gut biome and improve your metabolism, help with your brain function. Cleanse, you use it the same way as the Max 35. This is a 30 parts per million product. You take a teaspoon a day, every day, swish it in your mouth, gargle, and then swallow it. Use it the same way as the Max 35. Take cleanse, especially during the fall and the winter season. I also have a multivitamin. This multivitamin has the cofactors for enzymatic activity, so your cells will perform properly. It has a comprehensive profile for the multivitamin. You have vitamin A, vitamin C, D3, vitamin E, vitamin B1, B2, B3, B6, folate, B12, biotin. You also have zinc and selenium, iodine, chromium, manganese. C60 is a very strong antioxidant, very potent. You can get it in extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or MCT coconut oil. You can get it in a 2 ounce, a 4 ounce, or an 8 ounce configuration. It is cheaper per ounce to purchase the higher ounce configuration. This will soak up free radicals. It's 1,000 times stronger than vitamin C. It's going to help the health of your mitochondria. It's going to soak up those free radicals, boost up the ATP because your mitochondria will be healthier and more productive. You'll have more energy and your cells will perform better. Your tissues will perform better. You'll be able to slow down the aging process by soaking up free radicals at the vascular level. You're going to be able to reduce your concentrations of LDL, oxidized LDL. So by reducing oxidized LDL concentrations, you're going to reduce plaque formation. Also, C60 helps to protect your brain cells, your neurons. Super important. You'll have more energy for your neurons because your mitochondria in the neuron will be healthier. There'll be less stress on the neurons, so the myelin sheath will be healthier. And over time, you'll have better neuroplasticity, so you think faster and you have better memory. Super important to take every day. I've been taking C60 since 2016. You'll notice the effects of C60 within 2 months. You'll have more energy. You'll recover quicker after a workout. In addition, if you take it throughout the whole year, you'll notice a visible difference in your appearance. You will look younger. Part of the reason why that is that your immune system and your endocrine system is performing better. Your vascular system will be performing better. Your brain function will be performing better, and the basal layer for your skin will be healthier. C60, especially if you couple it with resveratrol, will help the health of the basal layer. The basal layer of your skin is where your new cells start to generate. D3, super important to reduce the severity of the fall and the winter season. D3 helps with gene expression. It also helps to get rid of cells that need to go into apoptosis due to infection. Take D3 to help build bone density and also help with your cardiovascular health. Vitamin C with magnesium helps with your immune system, with your skin, and with your brain function. Omega-3 helps with your cardiovascular health. It helps to bring down inflammation and help with your lipid profile. Ashwagandha root helps to control your cortisol levels and your blood glucose levels, bring down inflammation. That's important for your immune system and your cardiovascular system and your brain function. Good night formula. It's a great stack. What this will do is help you to get into those 3 to 5 cycles of deep sleep and REM sleep so you can be well rested, detoxify your central nervous system, and consolidate memory. By having a good sleep, a well rested sleep every day, you will slow down the aging process. I have another probiotic in a powdered form that will help with your immune system and your gut, help with your metabolism, your brain function. Resveratrol is an antioxidant. It helps to slow down the aging process. It'll help the health of your mitochondria, so you'll have more energy, helps with youthful gene expression. And again, this also helps the basal layer of your skin. Stacks really well with C60. Vitamin B complex is super important to take if you're 40 years of age or older. It has the B vitamins to boost up your energy levels, improve your cellular metabolism, and protect your neurons. Turmeric will bring down inflammation and soak up free radicals. This is very important for your brain function, for your immune system and for your cardiovascular system. Digestive enzyme complex will help you to break up carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. It has bromelain. Bromelain is an enzyme that will help to break up clots because it's fibrinolytic. And digestive enzyme complex will reduce the load on your pancreas. Very important. Collagen, this will help with your skin, your hair, your nails, your musculature, your bone density, and your joint health. Take it every day. It's a powder. It's a month's supply. You can mix it with soft foods, filtered water, a smoothie, or even with milk. Lignans. This will bring down inflammation, soak up free radicals, help with your immune system and your endocrine system. By bringing down inflammation, you can recover quicker after a workout, and you're helping with your brain function. Magnesium and zinc, very important to take during the fall and the winter season. It helps with brain function and the immune system. A great neurostack is the clarity factor. Clarity factor will get rid of brain fog. It'll help you to consolidate memory and over time increase your neuroplasticity so you're thinking faster and your memory recall will be quicker. This will allow you to concentrate on tasks. Olive leaf extract helps with the immune system and the cardiovascular system. It brings down inflammation and helps with the lipid profile. Zeolite, super important to take because it helps to detoxify your body. It gets rid of heavy metals, toxins, and chemicals. It'll help to get rid of PFAS. And this will bind to those chemicals and allow you to urinate them out within 6 to 8 hours. Take 3 small drops under your tongue, drink filtered water, do that every day to detoxify your body. Myotrol will help to build muscle. This is super important if you're 40 years of age or older, male or female. Take this every day, do some resistance training. And what this will do is help you build muscle and maintain muscle. It'll also help to maintain the health of your mitochondria. It has polyphenols, flavonoids, and lignans. Boomer Boost has 68 nutrients to target multiple systems like your heart, your vascular system, improve your brain function, speed up your metabolism, increase your energy levels, and help to build muscle. Gladiator barley. This will help to build muscle, detoxify your body, bring down inflammation, and soak up free radicals through superoxide dismutase. By bringing down inflammation and detoxifying your body regularly, you're helping your immune system, your endocrine system, and your brain function, your joint health. It's very important to bring down inflammation. And if you're taking these supplements on a regular basis, like the Boomer Boost and the Gladiator Barley, and you stack them together, you'll be able to slow down the aging process and control your A1C levels. Heirloom Barley is a great supplement. It's more focused on detoxification, bringing down inflammation, and soaking up free radicals through superoxide dismutase. So the big difference here between the Gladiator Barley and the Heirloom Barley is the Gladiator Barley is it has an added benefit of increasing strength if you do resistance training. Ubiquinol is the most bioavailable form of CoQ10 that you can get. Ubiquinol will soak up free radicals, help with the health of the mitochondria, increase your ATP levels so you have more energy, and protect your neurons. NAD Plus is a supplement to boost up your NAD Plus levels, increase your energy, help to repair DNA damage, and to protect neurons. Vitamin K2, MK7 molecule, helps to absorb calcium. It helps with the cardiovascular health and bone density. Also, K2 reduces the severity of what is coming in the fall and the winter. Nattokinase is fibrinolytic. It will help to break up clots and help to bring down LDL levels and increase your HDL levels. So nattokinase should be taken every day to help your cardiovascular health. I have 2 deodorants for males and females. You can get it in citrus or peppermint, lavender, and tea tree. They're made from essential oils from the Himalayas. Has no aluminum, no baking soda. all natural, and it's dual purpose. You use it as a deodorant and to help detoxify your body. Very high quality deodorants. And I have different anti-aging boxes that are available and longevity boxes. So take a look at the different boxes. They're curated at different price points to slow down the aging process and to target certain systems. So you can take individual products or stack them, do your custom stack to focus on different systems, or buy a anti-aging box or a longevity box that's curated for you at different price points to be able to slow down the aging process and increase your longevity. And again, I also have classes in pulmonology and immunology. You get a unique password. Once you purchase the module, you can log in as many times as you want. You just log in under classes, pulmonology or immunology based on that password, and you can watch your videos and download the PDFs and learn on your own time about pulmonology or immunology. So that's my website, the-studio-reykjavik.com. Please help support the work by donating on Stripe, PayPal, or buy me a coffee. And better yet, get the great products that I offer and follow my advice and slow down the aging process, boost up your immune system, and be prepared for the fall and the winter season. All right, with that said, I want to discuss the markets. Now, BITO is a ETF for Bitcoin. We're recording this on 10/5, so October 5th, and the markets will be open tomorrow. Bitcoin is trading at 122,000 range. So BITO is an ETF that's leveraged that trades the underlying of Bitcoin. It's based on the underlying of Bitcoin. So we have a support level at 1855, and we have a resistance level at 2149. Okay. It's trading at currently 20.29. Now, if Bitcoin starts to go down back to the 110 mark, we're going to be retesting the 1850 support level. If Bitcoin starts to move closer to the 130 range, we'll be testing the 2149. SPY is an ETF that's tied to the S&P 500. I've updated the fib sequences, and the high point right now is 672, closed on Friday at 669 for SPY. So what I have a target of 6,800 to 7,000 by year end. The short-term resistance level is going to be at 680. So the S&P 500 index, I have a target of 6,800. For the S&P 5 for SPY, it has one less digit for the ETF. So the target for SPY for year end is 680 to 700. So the short-term resistance level for SPY is 680. The support level is 660 at this moment in time. And once we get to year end, we go into the first quarter of next year, then I will reevaluate where we should start targeting the SPY. But I suspect that SPY by year end will be at 680, between 680 and 700. Oil. Oil has been trading the last few sessions down. It was trading at the 65 level, and now it's trading at 60.69. So it's touching off of that 60 level. I still have it's range bound. It's been range bound for since August. So I still am looking at that range being from 60 to about 65. So right now it's probably beneficial maybe to start nibbling at purchasing oil. If it breaks 60, then you probably have a very strong support level at 55, but it probably would be around 58 or about 58 would be a decent support level for oil. But 60 is a strong support level. And this is going all the way back to around May, where you had these candles are being supported at the 60 level. So we'll be testing that. We'll be testing it, but I suspect that it won't be below 60 for very long. If it breaks 60, it's probably a good time to buy. Now, Boyle is an ETF based on natural gas. Now, I probably should do the natural gas first, and then I'll show Boyle. So natural gas is is trading at 3.336, and you have a resistance level just below 3.25, and you have a support level just above 3.5. So you're going to have basically, just to round this off, 3.25 is a support level, resistance level 3.5 short term. And we're just starting the fourth quarter of this year. So it's high probability, especially because of this gap, this jump gap here, that this gap up, that we're probably going to be breaking the 3.5 mark. I would not be surprised if we start testing the 3.75. So bullish for natural gas. During the week, we did test beyond the 3.5. You can see this candle went past the 3.5 and come back down. So right now we're at a range between 3.25 and 3.5, but I suspect as we get closer to the end of the year, we're going to be above 3.5. Now, with that said, Boyle is a long leveraged ETF tied to the underlying of natural gas. And you can see here on Friday's close, 29.74. And as natural gas was going up towards the 3.5, we had it touch at 34.98 and comes back down. So the price swing could be pretty dramatic here. So as natural gas starts to creep past the 3.5, we're going to see trading closer to $40. So right now you have a resistance level at approximately the 25.60 range, maybe 25.75 range. And I'm sorry, a support level at 25.75 and a resistance level at about 34.98. So about around 35 short term. But I suspect that as we get closer to December, it's going to be close. It'll be closer to 40 than to 25. TYD is an amalgamation of maturities of the treasury market between the 7-year and the 10-year. Now, a lot of institutions focus on the 10-year. Some of the more insurance institutions will look at the 30-year, but most people look at the 10-year. So this ETF is important to pay attention to. Now, TYD is tied to the price of the bonds. If price of the bonds go up, the yields go down. Now, when I told you that once the Federal Reserve started to lower rates, that you're going to start seeing the Treasury bonds price go up and the yields go down. And that's what you started seeing here. You're starting to see that the actual price is going up. Now there's some fluctuation here, but so right now you have a support level at about 25.50 for TYD, and you have a resistance level at resistance level at around 25.87. All right. Now, if we have a few more days above the 25.87 mark, so you have a strong support level of 25.50. Not that much of a strong support level at this moment in time at 25.87. We need a few more trading sessions to establish that. But if it is established, then 25.87 will be the next support level. And then the resistance level will go up to approximately 26.73. We won't get to 26.73 until probably the next couple rate cuts from the Federal Reserve. So as the cuts of the Federal Reserve go down, the rates go down, TYD should be going up because yields should be going down. Now, that's just based on what the Federal Reserve is doing. But if inflation starts to ramp up because of tariffs or because of too much fiscal stimulus from the government or whatever it is, if inflation becomes pernicious, then you will see that TYD will start to go down because the rates for the 10-year will start to go up. All right, so with all that said, I think that what will happen is this 25.87 will become a new established support level, not a resistance level, but that needs to be confirmed in the next few trading sessions. And that 26.73 will be the new resistance level going into 2026. All right. Now, here, this staircase is the Fed rate. And so the rate cut happened. The 10-year yield is this curve, and the 30-year is this curve. Now, if you take a look at what happened here, when the Fed cut rates, right? When the Fed cut rates, it actually started to bring down the spread. This curve is the spread between the 30 and the 10. So you subtract these, then you get the spread. Now the 30-year is trading at 4.72. The 10-year is trading at 4.12. I'm a little surprised that the 10-year is actually trading this high. I figured that it would be trading at 4.0, maybe 3.9. Now, this, and I think the reason why is that tariffs and inflation, the PCE, the CPI, the PPI, they're all showing like around 3.1, 2.9, all above the 2% target. So this is part of the reason why it's a little bit elevated. But the main point here is that as I was saying before, I suspected that when the rate cuts started, that you'd start to see it drift down. This spread would start to drift down. And when there were multiple cuts back in 2024, you had a spread that was much closer. Okay. So I suspect that this spread will start to come in, not widen. And it peaked at zero point 0.7 for the spread before the Fed decided to do the cut. And then it started to come in with the cut. They're going to do another cut maybe this year, most likely this year, another 25 basis points, maybe even 50 basis points. And if they do a 50 basis point drop, this spread will probably come in much, much faster. So the point I'm making here is that if the yield is slowly coming down, it was trading at as high as at the beginning of the year, as high as this was in January, almost as high as 4.8 for the 10-year, right? And it's been coming back down. We can see that since January, you had an ETF on the belly of the curve, 7 to 10 year. The low point was 22 in January. And now we're trading at 25.84. So you can see that there's a slow upward movement here. And that's indicative of what we're seeing with the 10-year yield coming down here. Okay, so that's the yield curves with the Federal Reserve. Now, the last chart that I have here is dealing with the VIX index. Now, the VIX will spike, have a periodicity with its spiking. When there's a high VIX number, that means there's stress in the market. Low VIX number, everything's calm and the stock market goes up. When the VIX spikes, then you have your equities will start to fall. All right. Now, it happens in a periodicity. If you can see that there's like a big spike, there's not that many big spikes. The 65 range or even the 60 range, those are rare. But what's more common is something that may hit the 25 range, and definitely more common hit the 20 range, right? We're below that. Right now it's 1665. So when something is trading at between 12 to 16, market's going to continue to go up. But you can't have something in that range for very long before there's a spike. So you notice there's a calm, and then there's a spike, and then there's a calm, and there's another spike, and there's a calm, so I suspect that there's going to be another spike in Q4 that will do some sort of correction. Now usually what happens is that you have let's take a 25 spike. All right. You have a 25 spike, it comes back down, and then it starts to spike back up past the 20 mark. Now this one's at around 23, right? So you had one spike that was in May, the end of May, and then you have another spike the end of June. So this one was within 1 month. Then it came back down. All right. So this is near the end of June, goes through July, and doesn't rear its head up again until the beginning of August. So there was like a 2 month lag. So you had a 1 month and then a 2 month. It spiked above the 20, then came back down, and there was a lag for 1 month and almost came back up to 20 again. So, and then we have been relatively low for 1 month. I suspect that we may have a spike in October or November. There's a high probability of it happening in mid-October or the beginning of November before it will come back down and allow for an all-time high for the S&P 500. So beware that I suspect that there's going to be another spike that happens. that's near the 20 mark, maybe even past the 20 mark. But if you notice, these spikes have been diminishing. So like if you see here, like this spike right before the end of the year of 2024 went up, then it came back down, and then the next spike was higher, and then it came back down, and the next spike was even higher. So you had an increasing spike throughout these periodicities. This is what is called heteroscedastic. Now, this, and now as it started to come back down, it came back down, then a smaller spike, and came back down, and even a smaller spike after that, and then came back down, and even a smaller spike, came back down, and even a smaller spike. So things are stabilized now. I suspect that we're going to start seeing, like here, as we're moving into the next year, right? We're in October and we're calm. We're in a steady state and the market's going up, right? As we move into, let's say if you look at 2023, something similar happened, and it started to increase, 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 increase. So we may actually see more volatile. It would not be surprising if there would be more volatility in 2026. And I suspect that we're going to see an elevated spike near the 20 mark, maybe slightly passing the 20 mark mid-October or November before it comes back down. But the question is that if it goes past the 20, if it's higher than this spike here, then most likely we're going to have elevated spikes throughout 2026. So when the spike does happen in October or November, it's really important to see if it's higher or lower than the previous larger spike that happened in September. All right, with that said, that's the market analysis. Please help support the work that I do. These videos I do for free. I have thousands of videos to explain about multiple things about the market, about the news, my perspectives on, different subject matters. I do thousands of videos for free. Please help support the work that I do by sharing the links, making sure you've subscribed to all the channels. I have 4 channels on YouTube, Brighteon, Bitchute, and Rumble. Follow me on X, follow me on GETTR. You can follow me on TikTok and Substack, Patreon. Help support the work that I do by donating and being a paid member. But again, all these videos are for free, and it's through your patronage that allows me to do these videos for free. Please follow my advice and get the great supplements that I have. Slow down the aging process. It's a holistic approach. It's not just taking the supplements, but it's about proper diet, proper supplementation, proper sleep, drinking filtered water, mindfulness or spirituality, exercise, balancing, resistance training, cardio, stretching. All these modalities are important and help holistically for your body to improve its immune system and slow down the aging process. And you get an added benefit. You are preparing your body for the fall and the winter. If you take the different types of supplements that I've been mentioning in this video and in all my videos, it will help to boost up that immune system and you will be prepared for the fall and the winter. It's really important to mitigate right away things that you may be exposed to in the fall and the winter. So thank you for listening. Please help support the work by getting the great products that I have on my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.